Okay, let's talk about a term that is absolutely everywhere right now. Artificial intelligence, right? It's all over the news. It's supposed to be changing our entire future, but what does it actually mean?
Let me just ask you something real quick. Have you ever, asked Siri or Alexa to play your favorite song? Or maybe set a timer while you're cooking?
Well, if you answered yes to that, then surprise! You've already used artificial intelligence. It's kind of snuck its way into our lives, and a lot of the time, we don't even think about it. So, okay, we're all using it. But what is it? I mean, really. It's funny, because even though it's everywhere, pinning down an exact definition, that's a little tricky. So let's dive in and really unpack this. Okay, so at its most basic level, here's the classic idea. AI is a machine that can solve problems that, normally require a human brain. We're talking about our natural intelligence, things like learning, figuring stuff out, solving puzzles, all the things that used to be our job.
And you know what's wild? The idea of AI isn't new at all. The term was actually coined way back in 1955. But then, look at what happened around 2020. Whoa, it was like this perfect storm. We suddenly had huge amounts of data, crazy powerful computers, and smarter algorithms. And all that together created this massive leap forward, pushing us into the era of AI we're in today.
So, when people talk about AI, they're often talking about one of two really different things. You've got the Hollywood dream, right? The sci-fi vision of building robots that are just as smart and conscious as we are. But then you have the other side, and this is where pretty much all the action is right now. This is about building super powerful tools that are designed to do one specific thing and do it way, way better than any person could. So to really get a handle on this, you gotta know that AI isn't just one big blob. Nope, the experts actually break it down into a few different categories or levels. All right, first up is what's called artificial narrow intelligence, or ANI. And listen to this. This is all the AI that we have today, every single bit of it. Your Siri, the thing that recommends movies, the AI that catches credit card fraud, it's all ANI. It's an expert at one and only one job. Then there's the big dream, artificial general intelligence, or AGI. That's the Hollywood stuff, an AI that can think and reason like a human. We are nowhere near that yet. And then, way out there in the land of theory, you've got artificial superintelligence, or ASI, the idea of an AI that could totally blow past human intelligence. But that's just an idea for now. Okay, so that raises a pretty big question, right? How does this narrow AI actually work? How does it get so incredibly good at its one specific job? Well, the magic ingredient is something called machine learning. Think about it like this. Normally, a programmer has to write code for every single little step. If this happens, do that. But with machine learning, you don't do that. Instead, the software basically teaches itself. You just flood it with tons and tons of data, and it starts to figure out the patterns all on its own. It's more like learning from experience than reading an instruction manual. And this is a perfect way to understand it. Let's say you want to teach a computer to know what a dog is. You don't write code that says, a dog has 4 legs, a tail, and fur. No way. You just feed it thousands, maybe millions of pictures that are labeled dog. The program just looks at all of them and starts to pick up on the patterns itself. The shape of the ears, the wet nose, the wagging tail. And after a while, it gets so good that you can show it a picture of a dog it has never seen before, and it'll go, yep, that's a dog. Okay, so now we get the what and the how. Let's talk about the where. Where is all this AI actually showing up in our world today? Honestly, it's pretty much everywhere you look. It's in your smart speaker. It's the thing that flags a weird charge on your bank account. But it's also doing some truly mind-blowing stuff in science, like helping astronomers dig through just mountains of data from space telescopes to find brand new planets. How cool is that? And here's the thing. This is just the beginning. It's speeding up. Soon, AI won't even be a separate app. It's just going to be built into everything. Imagine you're in your word processor, you highlight a big chunk of text, and you just click a button that says summarize this, or make this sound more professional. That's not science fiction. That's right around the corner. But, with any technology this powerful and this fast-moving, it's not all sunshine and roses. There's a ton of promise, for sure, but there are also some pretty serious challenges we really need to think about. So let's look at the two sides of that coin. The upside is amazing, right? We can automate all the boring, repetitive stuff. We can send robots into dangerous situations instead of people. We can even cut down on human mistakes. But then there's the downside. This stuff is incredibly expensive to build and run. It could lead to people losing their jobs. And get this, the massive server farms needed to power these things have a huge environmental cost.
Now, when we talk about jobs, it's not like all jobs are going to disappear. The ones that are most at risk are the ones that are, well, kind of robotic already. Think about jobs that involve following a strict script, or jobs where you're just processing the same kind of information over and over and over again.
But, and this is so important, it's not just about what we might lose, it's also about what we stand to gain. This is really a transformation. The whole point is to let the machines handle the drudgery, the boring stuff, and that frees us up to focus on the things that only humans can do really well, like creativity, coming up with new ideas, and connecting with other people.
And that, to me, is the most exciting part of this whole thing. It's a lot like when the internet first showed up. The people who invented it had no idea we'd have streaming services or social media. And it's the same with AI. The next generation is going to come up with ways to use this technology that we can't even begin to wrap our heads around right now. So, at the end of the day, AI isn't just another gadget. It's a force that is actively changing our world. And this isn't something we can just sit back and watch happen. The real question isn't, what will AI do? The real question is, what will we do with it? How are we, all of us, going to shape where this goes from here?